Hi everybody. Today we are here with Ailish, who was born in London but now she's living in Manchester. And she studied a Bachelor in Geography and a Diploma in Marketing. And she has been working in sales and marketing for over 10 years already. And in 2015 she created the Glow Getter.
Yep.
That is a multi-award winning clean beauty, health and wellness blog which inspires women to take a more informed choice when buying their beauty products, and is focused on organic products. And she's doing that in a fun, friendly way, and through a blog that it is the glowgetter.co.
Yep.
And where we can enjoy her reviews and learn about healthy and beauty products. So come with us if you want to learn how she got to create this blog and about her beauty products if you are interested as well. Well, Ailish Lucas, that is your full name.
Yep.
What do you think are the psychological effects that the beauty products have over the woman?
So,
the women or the people who use it?
so the psychological effects of people who use beauty products. So I think beauty is really, really important, mainly because it affects the way somebody feels, it affects the way you present yourself, and it's an expression of yourself, so it's like an extension. So it really has amazing positive effects on you, I believe, because if you're a woman or a guy and you've ever worn a red lipstick when you're feeling slightly underconfident, and then you put that on and then go out, the psychological effects of that are just positive because you feel more powerful. You just get in a different headspace when you use, say, a red lipstick or you have a certain makeup on. Now there are two arguments to the story, where you could say that makeup has negative psychological effects where people don't feel themselves unless they wear makeup, and that's kind of a whole different story in terms of being comfortable in your skin. But I really feel that makeup is really, really transformational, especially in terms of, I work with a lot of women with cancer who have lost their hair, who have lost their eyelashes, who have lost their eyebrows through chemotherapy, and then teaching them how to put their eyebrows back on with an eyebrow pencil or make their eyes stand out with an eyeliner is absolutely transformational. So I feel like it only has positive effects in terms of like the psychological benefit, really.
I think it's like most of things, as soon as or as long as you use them in a balanced way, it's very useful, right?
Yeah, true. Like, makeup's fun. I think people take it very seriously, or they're very afraid of it. And makeup is just this really fun thing to be used and explored and not to take so seriously, because we take so much really seriously in life. Like, this definitely isn't an area that you need to do that in.
Mm-hmm. And how did you come up with this idea? And tell me if it was at the beginning was like just as a hobby, or do you have the idea ready to make it a business out of it?
So I think if you start a blog with the intention of it being a business and making money out of it, you're starting off the wrong way, because it definitely has to come from a place of passion, because you don't earn a lot of money off it at the beginning. So mine was definitely from a place of passion. I had really, really awful skin and had tried everything to cover it, like kind of sort it out and cover it up and just like get clear skin again. And I tried all the conventional brands and nothing really worked. And then I discovered a natural brand called Pi Skincare, and within 2 weeks my skin had completely cleared up. So I was like, oh, what is this clean beauty shizzle? Let me have a look a bit more into it. And then that's kind of where the blog started, where I was like, okay, let's start to talk about this and like just talk about my journey. And it's kind of gone from there, really. So I didn't really ever have an intention that it was going to be a business. Like, I would have loved it to have been, and I'm so glad it is now, but the start out was just to talk about my journey and then to see what other clean beauty brands were out there. So yeah, that's kind of where it started off.
And well, you say that a blog is not to make a business, but in somehow you must maybe it's a complement for a business, right? How do you monetize it?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of different ways that I monetize my blog at the moment. So I have a couple of online courses that I sell. I then also do online events. So I run 2 online events twice a year, and basically what that is it's called the Glow Summit, and I interview key green beauty, wellness and health leaders in the industry. And people can sign up to that for free, so they can gain advice, top tips and tricks on how to glow from the inside and out. And then I gain sponsorship from that, and then also I work with brands in terms of sponsorship and collaborations as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's mainly through sponsorships.
Yeah.
Selling the courses also
on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as well.
What are the set of skills that you need to have create the website, the blog, and to produce these videos?
I think what a lot of people misunderstand about bloggers is that they just take pictures of lovely beauty products and they spend lots of time trying all these lovely beauty products, when in actual fact that's the last thing on my mind. There's so much tech stuff that goes behind having a blog, so you have to be your coder, you have to you have to know how to build an email list, you have to know how to edit a YouTube video, you have to know how to make changes on your WordPress blog. So there's a heck of a lot of techie side to it, and you've kind of got to be a master of none and a jack of all trades in a way, because you've got to be able to put your hand to everything if you don't have a large team. So I think there's like the tech aspect, but right now it's easier than ever to have a blog and easier than ever to do coding. So I think that's really amazing, and it's really accessible for more people to get into that world. So I guess a bit of tech knowledge, a passion for what you're doing. I think it's first and foremost the most important thing, because if you don't have a passion for the area that you're focusing on, then there's almost no point in it, in terms of my perspective anyway. If I'm not passionate about something, well, what's the point of me doing it? So I think you've got to be really interested in it.
Also because it's something that you do repeatedly, like
you if you want to do it on a consistent basis for say 10 years down the line, you've got to be passionate about what you're doing, otherwise you're just going to get bored next week. And then, especially with me, I feel like I have ADHD with everything, and my attention span is like a goldfish, so if it's not keeping me interested and entertained, then I'm not there. So yeah, passion for what you're doing is definitely the most important thing.
Among all these set of tasks that you have to do, where do you find the biggest challenges?
Building my audience and being seen, because there's a lot of people out there doing blogging, and then there's also that everybody has such short attention spans now, and everybody's so short of time and everybody's so busy. So it's how you get yourself noticed and stand out to an audience when they're just consuming so much content all the time anyway. So it's how you get yourself noticed. So I think that's a process that you just have to keep learning and keep trying to provide amazing value for your audience that you already have, so that then they'll tell more people about you, and then you'll grow that way as well.
How is the two biggest mistakes? Tell me the 2 biggest mistakes that you have also faced when having to grow this audience. Mm-hmm. And how would you do if you had to start again? How would you do it?
Okay.
Would you do it differently?
So 2 biggest mistakes. I think the first one is not being prepared and running around like a headless chicken, and not planning properly. And that's a big mistake in terms of it just always ends up being last minute, and that can have a detrimental effect on my health in terms of I just run myself into the ground all the time, and then I'll have a period of loads of work and then I'll just drop off and be ill, and loads of work and drop off and be ill. So I'm trying to work on that at the moment. So that's a process that I'm learning. And I think the second thing is again, running around and being a busy fool rather than focusing on like 2 or 3 specific goals that you've got that you want to achieve by the end of the year. I think for the last 6 months I was kind of focused just on like networking and go down to London loads, and I'm like, well, I had to take a step back and go, okay, well, maybe I should look at really specifically focusing on growing my audience and building my audience, because that's a really big goal of mine. So how am I going to do that more effectively without just like being a busy fool all the time, and like getting a bit more strategic and working smarter, not harder. So they're 2 mistakes I've made over the last 6 months, but I'm slowly rectifying those and like refocusing again, so that by the end of the year I'll have hopefully hit my goals.
Mm-hmm. So it's mainly to have goals and then have a strategy. For this goal.
Yeah, there are 2 things that I definitely focus on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk also about your personal life. Where have you traveled or lived so far? And because this is a work that you can do everywhere, right? Where would you like to work maybe in the future? Where would you like to live?
Yep. Okay, so after uni I did a lot of travelling, and I went around Southeast Asia. I worked in Cambodia for a month. I then spent some time in Australia and New Zealand, and have also been around Africa and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, which was really fun. So raised a lot of money for charity there. And then, so that was kind of travelling, and of course Europe and America and places too. But I lived in New Zealand for 2 years, and I returned in November 2017, which was really, really amazing, and I loved living over there. But also really glad to be back in the UK, because I love the UK too. But in terms of in the next 5 years, I would love to go and spend a bit more time in the US. I feel like LA is quite a cool place for what I'm doing, especially in the health and wellness area, and clean beauty. So I'd like to go and spend a bit more time over there, but that it doesn't necessarily mean I have to go and get a visa and live. It could just be go and spend 3 months out there, because that's what your visa allows you to do. So I might still do that. I went over at the beginning of the year for about 3 weeks just to do a bit of networking, and it was really fun. So maybe next year I'll go over for a few months. We'll see.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's say in 5 years, if you have to set your goals long term, probably you have them already. What is the idea in long term, in 5 years, for example? What do you see yourself doing the same? Probably something similar, maybe improved.
Yeah, so in 5 years' time, I'd like to be the #1 beauty blogger in the world, specifically in regards to clean beauty. So I've got a lot of work to do. But in terms of living, probably in the UK, and maybe sometime in the US as well. But yeah, the #1 goal is to be basically the person who everybody turns to find out about clean beauty.
Mm-hmm. According to my experience, I have learned that there is no any impossible goal. So if you work on that focus and step by step, I think you can do that and much more.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So I'm happy to have you here. That is the future #1 blogger in beauty, focus on healthy products.
Yeah.
I hope you have enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Ailish.
Thank you.
And see you soon. Bye bye.